Thank you for coming down to J&R's Lunch and Learn. I am Dave, and today I'm going to be discussing the Yamaha Z11. We have 13 speaker terminals on the back of the Z11. That's what it looks like. It's pretty beefy. This is what an 11.2 system looks like. You got your left presence, right presence in the front, then you got your standard 5.1 configuration going out, 2 subwoofers on the side, but I was told maybe in the front too. Rear presence, surround back left, surround back right. It's a lot of speakers. If you're building an audio room, there's other ways around it. You can actually, what you can do is you can do some in-ceilings to take care of those presence speakers so you don't have so many speakers sitting all over the place. You could do a 9.2 in the main room with bi-amplification if you have really nice fronts. Zone assignability, it's very flexible when it comes to that. IntelliAmp design, the intelligent powerful power amp assignment makes it very easy for you guys to use. You can just engage zone 2, it knows what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. You can have 11.2 in the main room and then hook up 2 more speakers. If you do engage that zone A, what it does, it's actually going to know to take away your rear presence speakers and shoot the power over there. You can do 1 room and 7.2 bi-amped in the main room, 7.2 in 1 room powered. AV preamplifier mode. This is pretty cool. You can run all preamp outs to an amplifier system, and when you do that, that totally maxes out your other zones because now you're left with these 11 amplifiers. Where can they go? Well, you can throw them in different zones. You can have 4 speakers in a bunch of different zones. The receiver does have a party mode, which if you hit party mode, it plays everything at once. So you can have in-ceilings running throughout your entire house in party mode and have the same thing going through the whole system, which is pretty cool. And still have your 11.2 going in the main room. Compressed music enhancer was actually developed by Yamaha audio engineers. It's a pretty cool thing. They went to these guys and they said, well, everybody's listening to their music on their iPods and stuff like that. And what happens as soon as you amplify an MP3, what happens to the sound? It sounds like garbage. You have no highs, you have no lows, it's all been compressed and cut. So they went to the audio guys and the MI guys, the guys who design musical instruments, and said, this is something we can come up digitally to put these highs and lows back into the mix. So if you know what they did, they tested what a trumpet sounded like uncompressed and compressed and came out with a whole crazy algorithm to restore this stuff back into the music. They wound up putting two compressed music enhancers chips inside of it, so you can now engage that on top of DTS or 5.1, Dolby Digital, or whatever the case is, and use compressed music enhancer. Adaptive dynamic range control. What this does, it pretty much adjusts throughout the movie or whatever the volume control, so you're not holding the remote in your hand because you know it's too loud at one part, it's too low at one part. Adaptive dynamic range control will automatically sense that and stop those spikes in volume. Adaptive DSP mode. Well, DSP is a huge part of this unit. What DSP is the digital sound processor. Yamaha went out to a bunch of different venues and they got digital fingerprints of what these actual units, what a Hall would sound like. So as you go through the receiver, you would actually see like Hall in Munich or the Bottom Line Club. What they found out though is as you turn the receiver lower, even on a basic Yamaha receiver, the DSP effect goes away because the reference level on a normal Yamaha receiver is -18. So as you turn it lower, the reference level would DSP mode would go away. So what they did with adaptive DSP, when it's engaged, as the volume gets lower, the DSP effect would kick up. It is the only Yamaha receiver that is THX certified. It is Ultra 2 Plus, which is the highest THX certification. This is original 2D DSP processing. You know, you got your present speakers up here, and basically what it does is it communicates with these two, bounces signal between the two, and actually bounces signal from those two to the back. 3D DSP, that's on our 3800 unit, and it's a little advancement of that. What that does, it actually communicates with your fronts as well, so it actually bounces the signal throughout this whole thing, creating virtual sound points all over to give you better reflections of the studio, which is pretty cool. Not only does it communicate with these, it communicates with the backs as well, so you get this kind of like virtual sound point creation from everywhere in this thing. Kind of looks like this. Now there's one thing missing here, right? The height in the back of the hole. So this is what 3D DSP looks like. And this is good. This was an advancement in DSP modes. So what they did with the Z11, 3 years in the making, they put 4 DSP engines inside this. You got 11.2 speakers. Basically, it communicates through the fronts just like the 3D does, and it communicates with all the backs completely, creating virtual sound points. So what you get is complete coverage DSP mode. YPAO stands for Yamaha Parametric Acoustic Optimizer. What it does is it's an easy way to set up your receiver. Basically, you take the mic, you plug it into the receiver, you put it where you sit, you hit a button, it auto calibrates the room to where you're sitting. Now the YPAO on the Z11 is a multi-point system. So instead of calibrating for one person in the room, the guy who's buying the Z11 wants to do a beautiful home theater room, wants everything to sound great. So now you can calculate up to 8 points in the room. The main thing it does, you have 11.2 speakers around the room. What happens is you got waves coming here, waves coming here, waves coming here. Everything is crashing into each other. What happens is you get what they call standing waves. When waves crash into each other, you actually get, sometimes you'll get dead spots in the room, like bass dropouts and things like that. And the sound quality gets diminished. So with the multi-point, you can actually calculate for standing waves. Thank you for coming down and attending J&R's Lunch and Learn seminar. If you want any more information on Yamaha product, please visit jr.com.